Hey, how's it going? It's me. I'm back. Solo one, talking about nonsense. 66. Here we are. I talked real fast in this one. I was real excited. Started getting into the Kingdom Hearts stuff, and I was like, oh boy. Let me just run my nonsense, and I just got excited. I was like, it's hard. Heavens. But it was fun. I enjoyed. I had a lot of thoughts and things that were happening, so I was like, let me do it. But I should really just announce when I want to take a break, because I was off for a week, but I just don't. So what are you gonna do? It just happens. These things come out when they come out. I don't know. I had a very high energy for this one, having just listened back to it. I was amped, and I don't even know why. I didn't even have a fucking energy drink. I realized totally I don't even drink energy drinks anymore. It's kind of weird because I was so into them for a while, and now I don't do anything at all with them. A weird situation, but yeah, this one's here. 66, in your face. Enjoy, I guess. Yeah, enjoy. I'm so hungry.
This is your brain, and this
is your brain on top.
What's up? It's me. I'm back. How's it going? Took a week off for the holiday, and then I just kind of didn't for a little while. But that's what we do here. We ain't got timelines and things to do. But I'm back. Hello. Just had some Taco Bell, so I think we'll record until the diarrhea kicks in. It'll be good. How have you? How's it been? Did you have Taco Bell lately? You probably should. Or not. Actually, probably don't. I keep doing it, but it's never a good decision. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I've been around doing things. Things are happening. Streaming now. Started doing that. That's fun. Pretty much just Kingdom Hearts. That's all I really... Well, no, I did the Temtem thing. So I got into that alpha for the Temtem thing. It's a Kickstarter Pokemon thing game they're trying to make. It seems neat, but it's kind of wicked new. So it's not great yet, but it has potential. It's... I would say part of that whole monster catching subgenre that's really just Pokemon and a couple of Digimon games. I don't really know if there's another one. Oh, I guess well, to my argument I'm about to make here, there's a Dragon Quest series of games that do something similar, and I guess Persona is kind of another one, but they don't have well, the Monster Hunter, not the Monster Hunter, the Dragon Quest ones only have an evolution system, and the Temtem Alpha doesn't right now, and so I've noticed that's something that's super necessary, some kind of upward progression with your monsters and your little pals to kind of do something with them, because I was trying to just play it and just oh, let's see what's going on. I don't think the story, I haven't beaten what is the story of the alpha yet. I don't even know if I really care that much, because you can't. I think only 2 things evolve right now, and that's a huge selling point to these things for me. I'd rather just have something that can I know it's a small, because I noticed I was doing it with when I was playing. I was oh, I'll just get I don't know when this guy evolves, but if I had to guess based on how ingrained Pokemon is with this game, it's probably about 16 or so. So I was all right, I'll get my star to about 16, and then I'll stop, just to see what the evolution is. I hit 16, and I was oh, it didn't happen. Well, I'm done anyway. Got off, went to their wiki, and I was oh, he doesn't have one yet. And I know I've done that in other Pokemon games, where it's oh, I just want to see what the next thing looks like, or how much better this thing's going to get, so I'll go until this evolves. And so I'll just do that or whatever. And I had that problem with what the fuck's it called? Digimon Cyber Sleuth, yes, that game that I own, which is really good. I just haven't beaten it because I'm a fucking coward. But that was I kept finding myself where I would go to progress something in the story, and I was oh, let me just, because that's a weird system of you de-evolve things to then re-evolve them so that they're stronger in the evolved form. So you would evolve it, and then I forget how you do it. You might just select it in a menu, and you would bring them all the way back to their baby state, and then regrow them all the way back to where they were, and that would add points to a stat total. That seemed to be kind of an equivalent of an IV thing in Pokemon, where it's they're raw potential. It would kind of advance that. I think if I remember, it was the ABI or something. I forget what the stat was called, but it only grew or went up. The number only went up when you sent them through the evolutionary chain, and that was like their raw potential or something. Like their stats could only go so high depending on how their ABI was. I think that's what it was. I don't remember how it worked exactly. I just remember I constantly would bring stuff all the way down and bring it all the way back up. But in the process of bringing it all the way down, because the way Digimon works, and it's weird, everything is like a big web, which is weird too, because the show is never like this, but all of the games are. It's not like a one-to-one like Pokemon is, where it's like Charmander goes Charmeleon, Charmeleon goes Charizard. It's like Digimon's like, here's this one Digimon, you got Agumon, and he's got 5 things he can Digivolve into, and then each one of those has like 3 they can go, like, so like it branches in like a weird web, I guess because they're like digital, so I guess that's kind of the thought process of it, because they're not like actual animals, but they are actual animals, but they're not. That's always been a weird, confusing thing. But so because of the process of like, you have to devolve them to re-evolve them, I would like know what I wanted, but then would devolve them all the way, and then I would just evolve them into all the other branches. This is kind of just fill out like what their Pokédex equivalent was, but I would do it for hours and not even like say anything. I would just find myself doing it, and then I'd like wake up out of this trance and be like, I've been doing this for 3 hours. What am I doing? And like I was just trying to get this guy stronger, but like I just like the small minor progression of like making more monsters and collecting more monsters. And so that's the one big problem with Temtem right now. Is there's really the only one I've ever seen evolve is like the Pidgey equivalent. I don't actually know if there's any others. I was on the when I was on the wiki. There we go, words. The wind type was fucking jam-packed, so I assume that's where most of the things are happening. I don't actually know, though. And I was on a stream for like 2 seconds, and this guy had like one thing that looked kind of like fully evolved-ish, or at least more evolved than the little babies that everyone has right now. So there might be other things that can evolve. It's weird, though, because there's so many wind, and there's like one electric type. So I guess that little bug thing, it's like he's also part wind, I think, that electric guy. So he's probably the best right now in this alpha, if I had to guess. I don't know how strong he is like stat-wise, but I have one. I just haven't used him. I was pretty much just like using like the first 2 things they gave you, and I was just like, let me just see where this goes and how this works. And they have a little stamina system, which is cute, and you can kind of like, instead of having like PP like they do in Pokemon or like mana in another game, you have like a stamina gauge, and each move takes so much stamina. But some moves you can't use right away, and I could not figure out why. So that was weird. Like, you would start the match, and, like, 3 of your moves are available, 1 wasn't for some reason. It's always, like, the same one wasn't. I don't know why. And then eventually that one would become available after, like, turn 2. And I don't know why it was, like, delayed. Because I'd have other moves that were, like, way more powerful because on turn 1. It was weird. So it wasn't, like, a strength thing, which I thought it was initially. I was like, oh, this must be because this is, like, the more powerful attack, so they want to make that. They didn't want to give you that right out of the gate, so you have to kind of use something else, maybe scout out, or maybe just do a setup thing where you want to get some stats up, whatever. I wasn't really, and it didn't really seem like that was the case. I don't really know. But I pretty much just used the 2 guys for the whole time, and what they would have is like, oh, they do, the bird one I used, whatever bird thing they gave you right away. He's like a toucan or something. He had a lot of moves with a lot of stamina usage, so like he would burn up his stamina, and I could choose to let him like skip his turn. It's all double battles too, which is kind of cool. I can make him skip his turn, or I could have him attack again with something and hurt himself, which is kind of an awesome, like, if this game has a competitive thing going on later when it's done, I'd be fascinated to watch it, because I think that'd be really cool. People like, I think I know, like, I think I did the math, I think I can kill this thing if I just hit this thing harder here, and then maybe have to switch out here. It seems to add an additional, option, or like if your opponent's going to switch. I haven't really seen many switching, but I assume, again, it's so ingrained in Pokemon that takes up the turn. So I'm wondering if it's like, oh, I know my opponent's going to switch here, so let me wait my turn, recover stamina for free, and not like, I think that would be kind of I think it's going to be pretty neat once it's done and we see what's going on. I forget how many types there are. I forget. I remember I looked it up, and it wasn't like, I don't think it's, what is Pokemon at 18 now? I think they're at 18. Yeah, because they have it's an even number. I think it's 18 though. It used to be, I think that's what it was. And there's like 19 total with the question mark type, but that got ruled out like in Gen 4, so I think it's just 18 types now. But I think that's pretty neat. I don't know. I'm excited to see where this thing goes. I mean, I bought into it already with the Kickstarter, so I better hope, or I better think it's going to be good, because I already put a bunch of money into it. I think I'm getting a plush. I forget what I did, but I got 2 Because like the only reason I realized I had the alpha was I was on Twitter and they're like, hey, here are the things you could have done to be in the alpha. And one of them was like, spend $30. And I was like, boy, I know I spent more than that. I'm pretty sure I went a little too crazy on this product. So we'll see. I think I may have bought it twice. I think that's what I did. I think I may have spent like $70 because I think I wanted it on a console as well as my computer or something. I forget what my thought process was, but I had a plan. But I don't know why I started talking about, streaming. I've been doing that. Pretty much just Kingdom Hearts. Boy, I love that franchise. I don't like Birth of Sleep, though. I really don't. The more I have to play it, the more I'm like, Jesus, what a mess. This is such a train wreck. Why is it like this? It's just not, it's the repetitiveness of it. Like, especially doing it so quickly in succession, and I just beat it for my cousin. Like, I just fucking finished it for him, like, a month ago. So, like, having to do this again. And, like, I'm trying to platinum it for him. I don't think I'll ever do that for me. Platinum's a nightmare. I don't want to fucking think about it. Oh, my God. Having to do everything 3 times. Over and over again. 3 times the minigames. 3 times the fucking command board thing, little Mario Party game. Beat all the bosses 3 times. Jesus. And to unlock some of the bosses, you gotta do a whole bunch of stuff on all 3 characters, and then go back to the characters that you were playing before. You can't just, like, push through with one character and go, great, I'll come back and do this with the second character. No, you gotta, like, to unlock all of the arena stuff, you have to beat so much. You have to beat the game. You can't, like what I was doing was I was like, I'll just push all of Terra, and I'll switch over to Ven, I'll push all of Ven, and I'll switch over to Aqua and finish the platinum that way. But you can't even unlock all the matches in the arena until you've done everyone's storyline. Then you go back to Terra, and it's like, Jesus, I don't want this. This is a lot of repetitiveness, a lot of fucking nonsense. It's stupid. And it's like kind of in like the story mode is a nightmare. It's so poorly like balanced, and it's crazy. Terra way harder. I don't know what's going on. But now I'm on Ven, and like Ven's story, I don't know if it's his story. I don't think his story is particularly good, but I think like his like drops and like the things that he gets quickly enough, like the whatever commands he finds in chests and like the ones he kind of starts with, his like actual progression in the build I'm trying to do is like way easier to achieve than it was on Terra. Like I was like struggling to get like some abilities, and like things were kind of hard. Plus Terra has the worst dodge roll in the game, so like that's annoying. So you couldn't really even like abuse that or anything. But like fucking finally getting through like with Ven, I'm like, I have like most everything I kind of need. Like I'm pretty much like I could cruise from here on. I would like to make sure I have like max attack haste or whatever, but like I'm almost like kind of set. Like I could probably just like turn it on right now and just go and just finish it. It would take like probably 3 or 4 hours and I could be done with Ven, but like it's weird how much easier he was or is. I guess I'm not done with him, so maybe something happens in the middle. But I think I remember the same thing happening when I just played for my cousin. I was like, wow, this is like way easier. I don't know why. And, like, it's possible, too, that I'm, like, I always forget parts of Terra's story that are kind of annoying, and then I don't prepare for them. Like, the Zigbar thing, like, I wasn't like, oh, yeah, I should just get last chance, or second chance, or once more, I forget which one I needed for that fight. And I was like, oh, I should just get this first before I fight him, because he does that thing where he shoots a bunch of needles, so it would just make my life easier. And, like, I would just forget, and then I get there, I'm like, well, this is annoying. I guess I have to make sure I time every Thunder Surge perfectly, so I'm, like, going through his attacks, and as opposed to, like, just eating them and hitting them later. So stuff like that happens. So that might be partially why he feels harder than Ven. I don't know. But Ven just feels way easier. And the dodge roll thing is huge. I want to say it's like level 3 on Ven, and Aqua's dodge ability is invincible, I think. I think there's no gap in the iframes. I think you can just spam square and you're just invincible the entire duration, I think, by level 3. Definitely by level 4, whatever the max level is. I think it's 4. You're invincible the entire time you're doing it. You can, like, almost cancel your invincibility into more invincibility, and you can just ride through every attack. And Terra just cannot. He has, like, a cooldown on his slide or dash, whatever the thing's called. I think it's called slide. But, yeah, streaming's kind of fun. I enjoy it. I mean, I'm already going to play a video game. Might as well put the video game on for the people. It's kind of my thought. It's kind of my thought process lately. It's just like, well, why would I not? I'm already gonna do it. And like lately, I've just been kind of doing it for everything. I almost haven't played a game without streaming. I only played like 1 game of Counter-Strike without doing it. I was like, well, I'm terrible at this. No one on the fucking planet wants to watch me do this, and it was terrible. So I made a good call. For some reason, my mic was broken. I don't know. Everything got weird. I can't like figure out the Counter-Strike UI anymore. They changed it. And it's like I don't know where these things are. The game was like what it was years ago, and now it's not. So I don't know what's happening. It's a hassle, but I enjoy streaming. It's fun. I might stream Monster Hunter later because they have that winter thing going on, and like I haven't played in a while. It's a good time. I like killing monsters, hunting monsters. Excuse me. Got to use the proper terminology here. We're just hunting, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's a good game, and I don't know exactly. I think it's just a normal holiday event. I think they just they make the gathering hub all fun, and everything is available again. I think that's all that's happening. I honestly haven't done any of the Arc Tempered stuff except for the Kieran, which was like shockingly easy. I was just like, all right, well, it's probably like Kieran is easy enough on its own, like by itself. It's usually okay to like fight. It's not like too difficult. So, and the only thing that makes Kieran strong is like when you get hit by its giant attacks, and I kind of know what those are, so like I'll avoid them. Whatever. I think I talked about this before, but still, like he was like easy. I don't even know if like Arc Tempered Zor Magnaros is doable by yourself because he's like kind of like a big thing. I don't really know. I haven't attempted it, but perhaps he is. I don't know. But I'd like to get back to that. And if everything's available, like maybe I could try some of those. But I think it'd be more fun to have like a crew. There's like a guy I follow on Twitter. He does like those little the Monster Hunter animations. I think it's NCH animations. I think is what his thing is called. And he does like these little like goofy like little animations about like certain fights, and they're almost like sort of like pseudo tutorials, but they're also like just like silly cartoons about like Monster Hunter. And he has like a crew he hangs with. And I'm like, that sounds like fun. Like a little Monster Hunter crew. You're like, hey, let's go fight this thing, whatever. As opposed to me who just like solos everything. Because it's like less fun that way. I feel like, like the game is designed to be around people. It's why it blew up in Japan. Because everyone was just like on the subway or whatever they call it, the bullet trains. I don't know if they're actually underground. They must be. They might, right? They have to be. Because the way Tokyo's set up. But yeah, it's pretty great. I want to play more Monster Hunter. I might not stream. I don't know. I haven't decided if like I want to stream everything, but like I might as well. So I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. I don't have a schedule right now, so I just kind of just turn it on, and I post it to all of my social medias. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing, and then I do it. But it's been fun. It's like an interesting like thing to do because like I kind of already do kind of talk to myself when I play games, but I kind of just have to amp it up while I'm streaming. Where it's like I can't really just not narrate what I'm doing or thoughts I'm having. As opposed to I might just like, if you're playing by yourself, you might just sit there and stare and like think about it. Which is why I probably couldn't like stream like Digimon Cyber Zoo because I might just go into that trance state again. I'm like, I'm just going to grind this forever. Although I have been, which is weird. So here's the thing that's been happening with me. And I don't know what this is. So like, I've been watching a lot of Nakey Jakey. Shouts to him. He's the best YouTuber. I love him. He's wonderful. He's hilarious. He has really good music too. I've been like obsessed with his he has like 5 songs. That's all I've been listening to. They're so good. He's so good. But he did like a video on Breath of the Wild like a year ago. And then I was like, that was a fun game. I should try that again. And then for some reason, upon doing that, YouTube's like, hey, this kid hella into Breath of the Wild. Let's spam the fuck out of his recommendations with Breath of the Wild videos. And I'm like, I think I want to play this game again. So I didn't really get that far into it. And like I keep watching people play it and like do things in these videos. And I'm like, I can't believe that's a thing they thought to include. Like the thing where you like shoot a fire arrow into the grass to make a fire and then jump on the fire, but at the last second open your glider so you go up and then you have like you're like in the sky and then you break out your bow again and shoot people in slow motion. I was like, how the fuck I would have never thought to do that. Or like what is it? Your shields like surfing thing? Like, could you just do that everywhere? What was the button command to do that? I never found that. I never figured it out. So there's like clearly a lot more to like that game than I was like doing with it. So that's probably something I would stream because I'm like brain dead with it. But like, what a fascinating, like, what the hell is that? There's so much shit going. There's like way more shit than I thought you could do in that game. I thought you were just like kind of run around. And to be fair, I was struggling with the control scheme because it was just slightly different than Monster Hunter, but close enough where like I'd be like, I'm gonna go run, and then I would just throw my weapon. I was like, what the fuck? Because like Monster Hunter has a weird run button. I don't know why it's like, what is it? If I hold the controller, I can figure it out. It's R1 or L1. I think it's R1. It's R1. Yeah, it's R1. So like, I don't like it was like why that's a weird run button, but like it works for Monster Hunter, and when you like do it enough, and like I was playing a lot at that time, so like it was just kind of like super ingrained in me. And I was just like, I guess this, and I kept fucking it up, and it's like just close enough. I was like, fucking like almost there, but I would keep doing something stupid. But it seems like a pretty cool game. I should probably give it a shot again. But I'm like, I don't even know where it is. Is it on my shelf? It is. It's over there. I gotta figure that out because I have all these Switch games, but I haven't like fallen in love with the Switch yet. Like, Octopath was cool. It was neat, but like it was super repetitive. Like I knew that too. I knew it too. I knew going in because I don't like Bravely Default that much because of the same problem. It's super fucking repetitive. And then I was like, but it's the same people. But I mean, come on, they must have learned from their mistakes in the first one, and then they didn't. But they almost did, but then they didn't. Like it's like if I didn't have to switch my party out to do someone's story to someone I don't care about. Like I don't care that it's Trish's story, whatever the fuck her name was. I don't care it's your story. Let me just use the 4 I've been using. They're cool. I'm vibing with them. They're awesome. Like, what are we doing? Like, don't make me switch you out for, like, fucking Ophelia so I can fucking just give you the healing. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's dumb. It was annoying. I didn't like it. But it had such cool ideas. And I was like, fuck. And I bought The World Ends With You because I was like, well, I don't know where my copy for the DS is, so I might as well just make sure I know where I have a copy of that, because that game's amazing. And then it was just a port of the phone version. A port of the phone port. So I guess that's technically what I would have to say. And that's atrocious. Like, I don't understand. They want you to, like, take the Joy-Cons off and, like, hold the tablet portion of it like a phone and then use that. And, like, that game is cursed to never have a good control scheme. The DS version's a nightmare with the puck thing. That was horrible. And now it's like, hey, here's this console that might be... Oh, wait, no, we're fucking dog shit. I'm sorry. Why would we want to work for you? Why would you want to have your whole console put together? Because if it is, it's too fucking cumbersome because you got to use your fucking hand to hold, like, the entirety of this fucking lunch tray to draw on the screen to move your guy, and like moving is a nightmare, and doing attacks doesn't make any. It's fucking terrible. I don't know what the fuck that, like, it's such a good game with like story and style and music. It's amazing, and then it controls like total booty, and I don't know what the fuck, how to fix that, and like it sucks. And I was like, I want to have more of these games, so I was like, I might as well buy it, and then they're like, well, fuck you, it's unplayable. And I'm like, damn it, so close. So if they ever make a second one, hope for fucking Christ. And that's the thing too, is like you can use like the Joy-Con to move in the map, but not in the actual battles. I don't know. And then if you do on the TV, you gotta take them off and then like point the Joy-Cons to the TV. I'm fucking 25. I'm not fucking waggling shit anymore. I'm done with that. That's just not me. I'm not doing that no more. Like, fuck that. I fucking remember I played Red Steel 1 on my friend's Wii for 1 second. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I shooting the ground? And I never went back. That was stupid. And then here we are. We're still doing this shit. I don't understand. Like, what are we doing? Stop. Hey. I want that game to be perfect, but it's so not ever going to hit that point. It's like, fuck. And like the best version of it, or the best place those characters have showed up is Kingdom Hearts 3D. And that game's terrible. It's a bad game. I mean, maybe it's okay. I don't know. Maybe it's better on a controller, but like that DS version's atrocious. It's real bad. I don't understand. There's so much happening in that game, though. Like, it's really not the game's fault. That's just Nomura just being like, let me just jerk off my ideas into one cartridge because I'm running out of time. I gotta get this story moving. It's like, no, you don't. Stop. It's in my eye. It's the worst. Oh my god. I'm gonna play it though. We'll get to it. If you watch my stream, we'll get to all of them. I'm almost done with Birth by Sleep, thank Christ, and I can move on to one of the games I like, which is Kingdom Hearts 1. I was thinking about that. I was like streaming, because I've been streaming it, as I've mentioned earlier. And so I went to hang out with some friends, and they're like, which one are you playing? And I was like, oh, Birth by Sleep. And like, where does that line up with the rest of them? And I was like, fuck. I guess 3? It's the third best one? Because the rest of them, besides 1 and 2, are fucking ass? They're real bad? Like, I don't understand. Like, why are they all terrible? Tell me, friends. Why can none of these games be good? They're bad. 3D is terrible. Chain of Memories is terrible. What one am I forgetting? Oh, actually, I really like fucking, what's the one with the lad? 3 Fight Over 2. I like that one a lot when I played it on the DS. But Square Enix doesn't believe that I deserve that one, so they just made that one a movie. And then I own Recoded, never even tried it. I was like, this is a phone game. Why is this here? And then it just keeps going. But that's a movie too, so we're good. Yeah. One was weird, so I watched back cover because I'm like, I want to make sure I know everything about the story. So back cover is kind of the prequel, the whole thing. It's the phone game movie thing, kind of. Not really. It doesn't really know. I mean, besides it taking place in the world of the phone game, it has like nothing to do with the phone game. And there's a part, which I thought was adorable, where the Master of Masters the potential biggest bad, I don't fucking understand where his place is at all. But every bad guy has a gazing eye in their weapon, and he's the guy with the gazing eye. He gives that shit to stuff, so fucking what do I know? He's like, you think 7 of us are going to beat back the darkness? And like, that's totally what's happening in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, oh, it's cute. Like, they know. They're like aware of what they're doing. That's fun. Because there's fucking the 5 foretellers plus Luxu. Luxu? Is it Luxu or Luxu? I think it's Luxu. I think it's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then the Master Masters make 7. And then it's the 7 wielders of light against the 13 wielders of darkness. It all makes sense. We played the Dream Drop Distance, but really it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of insanity, but that's what's going to happen. And we know, how many light people do we know? Sora, Riku, Kairi, Lee, 4? Yeah, I guess we only know 4. I assume the last 3 are going to be the Birth by Sleep characters, but then Aqua is hella fucked. Ven is kind of dead. And like no one knows where he is except for Aqua, and Aqua's fucked, as previously stated. And Terra is currently a suit of armor. So I think those 3 are out. Potentially Terra's gonna come like fight his way back, because that one trailer where it's like Terra's armor and Terranort like clash, I was like, fucking my boner can't handle this, and that was sick. So maybe he's gonna will himself back into existence. Funny, because he is the lingering will, which sort of makes sense. I don't know. I've been invited to a party where I have to make a presentation that's 3 minutes long, and I'm like, all right, it's clearly gonna be about Kingdom Hearts. I don't fucking care about anything else, but like, what about this fucking universe can I explain in 3 minutes? Not a lot, not too much. So I might just like have to lean on like the what makes up a person in Kingdom Hearts, because it's kind of a nightmare, but I can kind of do it, I think, in 3 minutes. So there's only 3 parts to a person in that universe, but it's kind of stupid as shit that there's 3. It's so dumb. I don't understand. Like, when you're full, like, existence, like, I don't know how to word it. Like, your perfect being, that's called a somebody, because the other option is a nobody. Like, it's real fucking dumb. And it's, like, kind of confusing, but I feel like if I had graphics and, like, things to point at, people would be like, I see. But I don't know if I can do that in 3 minutes. Like, there's a lot. And I don't know if I can explain it clearly enough in 3 minutes. So I have to work on that presentation, because who the fuck knows? There's going to be something about Kingdom Hearts. I just don't know what. There's a penalty for, like, if you go over 3, you just keep drinking. So I might just have to take the L and just drink a lot to explain this concept completely. But who knows? I'd like to try to nail it in 3, but who knows? So I got to deal with that in about a month. I got to come up with something. That's exciting. Jesus. But Kingdom Hearts is fun. Actually, while we're on the topic of Kingdom Hearts, I was going to say this till the end, because it's kind of more nonsense about Kingdom Hearts, but fuck it. We're already here. We're doing it. We're 26 minutes in. Almost 27, and that's all I fucking talked about. So, fuck it. Deal with me. Indulge me on this. So the phone game in Japan updated. Of course, not over here, so fuck me in the face. Why do I keep playing this stupid thing? But I did get the fucking Supernova Key Art 19, and delicious. It's such a good medal. Holy fuck. I digress. I only spent fucking like $45 to get it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the Japanese game updated. And things happen in the storyline. You know, there's the 5 dandelion leaders. The kid with the black hair, the girl with the black hair, the guy with the black hair who has a hat, whose name was Blaine in the fan translations, but then became Brain in the English translations. It's kind of stupid. Who the fuck else is in this? There's another person who, wait, no, how many listed off? I listed off 3. Who the fuck's the 4th? It doesn't matter. And then Marluxia's somebody who was supposed to be Streliza, this girl who's there for like 10 seconds, then she gets murdered real hard by him, and then he takes her spot. And that's kind of cool. You're like, fuck, this guy's a thug. He's the assassin in the organization. Like, his title is something the assassin in the Organization 13. I can't exactly remember what it was. It's something to do with him, like the Majestic or something. It's something to do with him being like the Grim Reaper, but he's very, like, fabulous about the whole thing. I can't remember what his fucking title is. His thing is flowers, but, like, petals, like, or cherry blossom petals are a sign of, like, the Grim Reaper and death in Japan. So it seems super weird and feminine in America, but, like, in Japan, it's supposed to be, like, it's more spooky. But and he has a scythe as a weapon. I digress. Yeah. Oh, Ventus. That's the fucking 4th one. Of fucking course. It's the only one that doesn't have black hair in this fucking quadrilateral. Yeah, which is that causes more questions and confusion, but whatever. Ventus in this game as well. 100 years before everything else takes place. So Marluxia, somebody's in it. He takes this spot after killing this girl. Oh wow, crazy. But he's being very kind of weird and standoffish throughout the whole. Every time the five of them are meeting, and then they do a meeting, and then he's not there, and they vote on the PvP mode, which is weird too, because like they have all these modes and like mechanics put in the game. Like the pet thing for the extra slot, like, you know, like a real reason, but then they give it like a lore flavor, basically. And so they have PvP, but the PvP is all digital. So you have like there's like a little particle effect this game has whenever something is on the digital world, because Kingdom Hearts has the actual reality and then a digital scape, which is what all Recoded takes place in. Whatever. The whole game of the phone game is now currently taking place in the digital space because everyone's dead from the Keyblade War. But to keep taking our money, they're like, all right, you're all in the digital space. So they're like, oh, okay, we already have everyone's data for all the wielders. Let's just have them digitally and upload into this arena, and then they can fight. So they're not actually fighting, but they get the chance to fight. So whatever, they have this conversation. But it's fucking months and almost a year, probably even a year after they introduce PvP. They're like, oh, hey, let's have a cutscene that explains why this is in this game. I don't know why they do this, but they did the same thing with the pet thing. So they're like, all right, let's have this conversation about this. It's in the rules, but fucking Marluxia, I forget how to pronounce somebody's name. He's not here. What do we do? Oh, I don't know. Fucking deal. We'll just, whatever. He said, just devote whatever you say. Okay, cool. Whatever. So they have this conversation, whatever. And then we cut to where he is, and he's like walking over, and he walks down these stairs, and he's like, hey, totally Lark seeing somebody. What's going on? Talk to me about Streliza. And then here's where everything is confusing. It's either her sister or it's his sister. The translation is currently sitting at it's his sister, but it's potentially her sister. And that's just due to fuckery with the Japanese language. It's very confusing. They don't have like pronouns like we do in English, which is weird. You use like the word the, and then you change that based on the way you are talking and who are you talking about or something. I had to look this up because like in Hunter x Hunter, the Chimera ants are all genderless, but if they had to be one, it would be male, but the cat one is very feminine. So a lot of people thought that when they talk about this character, use like a female thing, but it's like that's not what this is. But like it's like all the official translations have it as male. Like the what's it, Viz Media? What the fuck? Who the fuck produces? I don't even know who puts that out. Whoever puts that out, whoever puts the Shonen Jump official version of that out, they use he. I don't remember. I think it's Viz Media. I have no idea though. So they use he, but like it's not really clear in the Japanese. Like if you look at it and you can read it, which I can't, but I'm just trusting what these people are saying online. So you read this thing and like it's not very clear. But in like the anime, it's voiced by a female and stuff like that. So it gets confusing. Who knows? In Your Name, when they switch bodies, one of the moments early on, the girl, when she's in the boy's body, says something feminine, and like in the subtitles, it's like uses like the female, or whenever they uses like a female way of talking. It's not like, because like you talk in a certain way depending on where you are, where you're from, what gender you are, and like how old you are. You talk entirely differently. Like if you're an old, like sometimes in manga, I'll see it when I'm reading, and like someone talks like in a weird southern accent. They're like, this doesn't really exist in English, but they're from this region of Japan, and they have this weird accent. Or like, oh, hey, this joke only makes sense in Japanese because they're talking like an old man, but they're clearly a little girl. Like, it's like, this doesn't make sense because this doesn't exist in this country. So, so because of the thing, we don't really know whose sister Streliza is, but it's related to one of those two, and like, that's fucking crazy. Because like, I saw the screenshot of like Marluxia meeting Larxene somebody, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I think I literally said on Twitter, like, this game is a fucking chill. Are you kidding me that another person is in this fucking game? Like, how many people were alive 100 years before the fucking, like, the real game started? Like, what's happening? And then I watched the cutscene, the translated one, and then they're like, also, fucking, let's drop this bomb. And I was like, are you fucking, how does this game keep doing this? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is happening? This game, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in a fucking, a month, 2 months, more or less. It's January 29th, I believe. What the fuck? How did you do that? Like, what are you doing? Nomura's crazy. And I remember him saying once in an interview, Nomura's like, oh, you probably want to play the phone game so you know a little bit more about Marluxia, because he's playing like a big part in the Tangled world or whatever. And I was like, that seems like a weird thing to say, but I guess if somebody's in it, sure, let's go with that. And then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? There's more here? And now I'm thinking about it, and I have had time to digest and be like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I'm wondering if it's anyone that didn't show up in Birth by Sleep that becomes a member of the Organization 13. We're all part of this like super old time, 100 years ago, we're real people type thing. I wonder if that's how that works, because like Larxine's not in Birth by Sleep and Marluxia's not in Birth by Sleep, and then they're both clearly shown in this thing. So Demix is probably likely to show up in this phone game, is my guess. Who am I forgetting? Is there anyone else? Because like Zoldan's in Birth by Sleep and Lexius or whatever his name is, he's in there. I'm not gonna do this live right now, but if I looked at a list, I could probably figure out like who is supposed to be what. I don't know. We'll see. It's confusing. It's fun to speculate, but like it never works out because it just can do anything. It could be going in any direction, and then you're gonna be like, well, fuck me. I guess I was just wrong. What a waste of time that was. But whatever. It's fun. I enjoy it. Boy, can't stop talking about this nonsense, but it's fun. I enjoy it. That's why I started. I was like, oh, I should stream this because like I can bring my love for this to others. Be like, look at this thing I love so much. Watch me enjoy it, and it's been good times. I'm gonna move on from this though. What was I doing? Oh yeah. So a few things I did recently. Grimes put out a new song, and hot damn, is it fire! I love it so much. It's so good. It's so good. I love her. It's like a weird, like industrial song, which is I would never have expected that to come out of anywhere. But then I recently like heard that she did something similar on a Poppy song, and I didn't realize that they even worked together. And I've never even listened to a Poppy song ever in my life. She's like a YouTuber, I believe. I believe that's how she got famous or popular. But I'm actually, again, I don't know. I have no idea who this woman is. I just know of her. And I know she has like a similar, not aesthetic, but like a sound, like that kind of weird ghost baby thing that Grimes does. Poppy does too. So I was like, that makes sense. Like I'm aware that they both fill that track. They both fall into that lane. So I was like, I guess it makes sense that they would do a thing together. And so I was listening to a review of the Grimes thing because she retweeted it. It was Anthony Fantano. I would have probably watched it anyway, but she was like, thanks for shouting me out. And I was like, well, I like both these two. I'll watch the video. And he was like, this sounds a lot like the thing she did with Poppy. And I was like, fucking what? So I listened to that too. Very similar, like kind of a rock metal-ish thing going on. Almost new metal-y-esque. But this new one, We Appreciate Power, is like closer to industrial metal, which is strange. Which really, the only real branch between like industrial metal and like a new metal type thing is like the use of like machinery sounds, or like you using a hammer hitting iron, like that kind of like that, like hitting an anvil, like that sound. You put that in there and stuff, and like, and some crazy industrial metal, like you wouldn't have a cymbal, you have like a buzzsaw, like real crazy dumb shit. And she's not going that crazy, but she's doing things with like, it's very metallic sounding, and there's like a lot of, it almost sounds like she's just singing this in like a factory, like that kind of thing, which is kind of what industrial metal is trying to do. And it's fucking dope. It's so good. What a fucking banger song. Been listening to it a lot. And then I started really diving into this Jakey stuff, and I was like, this is fucking, Naked Jakey. Shout out to you again. So good. His 5 songs are amazing. It's probably annoying to anyone that's like been around me, because I've just been listening to these 5 songs nonstop all the fucking time. They're so good. But like, yeah, I mean, I was doing that with Grimes like 2 days before. I was like, let me really dive into this shit. And like, whatever. But it's so good. I can't wait for that album. I know she had said, like someone had like just tweeted at her like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, like, yo, when the fuck's the next album? She was like, I just finished all the promotional art for all the singles so soon. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then she like 2 days after that was like, oh hey, on the 29th, whenever the fuck that song came out, we'll put out a song, whatever. And I'm hoping we get more of this. I hope it kind of sounds more like this song, because like some of the songs on Art Angel, some of the singles she was releasing sound like different from like some of the like some of the other songs on that album. It's kind of weird. Like some of them are different, like drastically, but they're all amazing. Except for the fact that she doesn't think the original release of Reality is perfect. It's the one thing I disagree with Grimes, to be completely honest. Her fucking the Reality demo, I think, is a million times better than the actual Reality that she put on the album. Granted, it's still a great song, but they're so drastically different in my mind that like, but I would rather listen to the demo version every time. And I don't know why. She's like, it's like not mastered. She's like, I don't really like it that much. Like she put that out because it was all she had, and she went to Japan. Her brother's like, yo, let's make a music video. Like that's it. Her brother's the DP on all of her projects. But I think it's kind of adorable that they kind of work together. He's like, we just filmed a bunch of stuff of you in Japan. Let's just make a music video with the one song you have. And she's like, all right, let's do that. And it was like unfinished, but I think it's so much better. I fucking was obsessed with that first Reality release. It's the best time I ever played Project M. Listen to that nonstop while I just beat the shit out of it. It was a pretty good time. It's my best performance. I loved it. It's a good song though. It's so good. And like, I don't know. It's like she's just like, I don't like it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm very excited for this album. I love it. When Grimes puts out a new song, it's like Christmas. It's just like, oh man, I got this new thing, and let's go back and listen to the old things. Let's just do it all. And then I just sit at my computer watching her music videos for like 2 hours. It's wonderful. And then I find other people. That's the fun thing about listening to Grimes, is she has such a weird sound that the YouTube algorithm is like, I don't fucking know what you like, and will throw like random things in like the up next category, just in the recommended bar. They're like, try this? I don't know. That's how I found Pale Waves. Just like, I'm just going to Grimes binge. And then they were just there. I was like, fascinating. And then, fucking the rest was history. But like, I find that fun. Like, she's like, try this, and sometimes it's terrible and dog shit, and other times it was amazing. We get Pale Waves. Shout out to that. The best thing ever. Yeah. Boy, I cannot wait. I have a thought. Oh yeah. So another thing, totally out of left field. I went to a comedy show recently. I've been to 2, like very recently, like within the last 2 months, 3 months, something like that. And I just go to like, they only have like a few comedy clubs up here, because upstate New York is dog shit. So we just deal with what we got. And the first I went to was like Aziz Ansari, and like he was alright. The guy who opened for him was like way better. I can't remember his name, unfortunately, so I can't just be like promoting this guy, but he was great. He's on like a collection thing. I think it's on Netflix, but I don't remember. He had like a mustache. He was funny. But that was fun. But the thing is, I went by myself. And if you've never been to a comedy show, like it's very strange, because like they're part restaurant. So I don't know if you've ever just been to a restaurant by yourself, but it's weird. And they kind of treat you weird. I don't know why, but they'll be like, oh, weird. Okay. Enjoy sitting with strangers. You're like, all right, sounds good. Because the Aziz Ansari thing was sold out because he's such a big name. So they wouldn't just give me a table by myself. I think they would normally if it was smaller, but it wasn't. So here we are. And so like, that was weird going to that, because like they didn't give me like water. They would like never came up to me to like take my order. It was very strange. Like they just kind of treated me like a weirdo, which I guess is fair. I was going to go with my brother, but then he bailed. So it was just like, all right, I guess I'm going anyway, because this was like a $40 ticket. Which luckily the other ones I've looked into that are going to be around here are not that much. It was just like, I guess because he's such a big name, they're like, fucking bring it up. Charge as much as possible. So whatever. So that was weird. And then I was listening to Your Mom's House, and they had this woman on, and she was hilarious. I'm like, oh, this is fun. And she at the end, they promote themselves. She's like, oh, I'll be in Saratoga. I'm like, I live near Saratoga. So then I forgot. But I follow her on Instagram. And I'm going through Instagram stories, and she's like, hey, Albany, I'm up here. I'm like, oh, that's fucking right, she is. So I went up, and I was like, all right, I'll buy a ticket. And I went to a show. I invited some other people to go, but they were like, oh, I can't. So I was like, all right, I'm going up. So I went, and it was much better, because it was like the late show, and there was not as many people, so then I got my own spot. But still weird, because I was by myself, and like, again, it's a restaurant. It's kind of strange. So I just get sat in a corner somewhere. And they had like this first guy go up, and he was atrocious. So now I'm like, well, I might as well try stand up if this guy can fucking get a show here. So he was terrible. He was the MC technically, but he was atrocious. So I might try it stand up soon. We'll see. But then she went up. Annie Lederman. Yes, I did not say any of that right, but what are you gonna do? She went up. She was doing fine. The room was a nightmare, because it's just a bunch of old white people at 10 o'clock on a Saturday. So like no one was willing to have some fun. So it was a tough crowd. I thought she was funny, but I'm only one voice in a room of like 50 people. So I was like, she's gonna go to crowd work, because like this is gonna be kind of tough for her, and she did. It was like, it's probably easier to make the room laugh if you just make fun of people. So she just kind of bounced around the room. Also, I think she was high as fuck. I think she kept saying she'd smoked a lot of weed that day, and she seemed like she was kind of all over the place. But like, what are you gonna do? So she started making fun of the crowd. And when she started on the other side of the room that I was on, and I was like, I think she's trying to end on me, because I was in this weird, awkward seat in the back corner all by myself. And I'm like, that would make sense if she wanted to like really lean into me. So she just went around the room, lands on me, and roasts the shit out of me. And like, I look like Jesus. I get that a lot. But the thing that was fascinating was she made that same comment. Again, I get that a lot. I was like, all right, cool. Not the first time. But then she kept going with it, and I was like, oh, this is like the difference of like a normal person and a comedian. Like, this is a professional who does this often, and like watching her like structure it out and like keep it going. And actually, she even like worked it back. It was by accident, but worked it back into her closer, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking fascinating. Like, I was like in this weird, like little awkward, like table seat thing. But it was like a booth, I guess is a better way to describe it. But it wasn't like a booth, like a restaurant booth. It was like I was like a judge at a game show. Like I had like that like half wall thing in front of me, and it was really small. I don't know why they put me there. It was like my legs were killing me, because it was like this really cramped little space. And she was like, making fun of me for being alone. Like, what are you doing? No one wants to be around you. You've done so much for us, Jesus. And, she was, like, really doing well with it. And I was like, oh, this is really fascinating to watch, like, her do it. And, like, I didn't want to say anything back because, like, I'm not really sure how that works, to be completely honest. Because, like, I'm not going to say something that's that funny. I might, but, like, what are the odds? Like, probably not that much. And, like, she's doing her thing. I'm not going to interrupt by, like, speaking up and trying to, like, one-up her or something. That seems fucking stupid. She's the one with the microphone, not me. She got paid to be up there. I fucking paid her to be here. Like, I don't have the right to say something. I was like, all right, I'm just going to sit back, let it happen, just let it go. And, like, I think that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't really know. Because I listen to enough podcasts of comedians, and they're like, fucking, I hate when people talk. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, that's fucking stupid. Don't do that. So, like, I'm going to let her keep going. And, like, I ran to her afterwards, and she was like, oh, my God. She seemed really grateful that I just kind of let it roll when we were speaking very briefly. So I think I did the right thing and just, like, let it happen. But again, I'm not really sure, like, what I'm supposed to do. It's like, I guess I just sit here and take it into the face. But it was kind of nice. It was nice to, like, have that moment. Whatever. And then Kurt Metzger was the headliner. But it was kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I've heard him on Rogan, and I thought he was okay. So I wasn't like, oh, whatever, I don't really want to see him. I was like, all right, cool, I'll see him too. But he did really long, and I was getting very sleepy. So, like, I don't really, like, it was okay. It wasn't, like, killing me or anything. But I thought she was really good. I was enjoying that a whole much more. I was like, this is nice. I like this. Yeah, so I recommend. I wanted TJ Miller's coming up here, like, this weekend. I kind of want to go see him because he's kind of a train wreck right now, but I'm fascinated about what's going on. And, like, I was watching, like, something with him. I think it was his I'm Dying Up Here or something. And he has, like, a brain deformity that, like, blood swells up in his, like, frontal lobe, and it changes his personality. So I wonder if him, like, losing his mind a couple months ago or a year ago was, like, due to that. I don't know. So I'm curious. But I enjoy him. I think he's funny. So I would like to go see him. So maybe I'll do that this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. He's at the place that didn't even offer me water, so I'm almost definitely want to go with someone. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just go by myself. It doesn't matter. They can just ignore me, and I can just write a complaint. I'll make a bad Yelp report. I've not even owned Yelp on my phone. I guess that's everything for that. But yeah, I definitely want to do more. I like comedy. I like going to stand-up. I think it's fun. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting experience because, like, you're not in your house watching stand-up. You're, like, in the place. And I always find that very interesting. I don't know. It's got a different vibe. And, like, you always hear stand-ups, like, talk about it, like, how much of a different vibe it is to go live. And it is vastly different. So, we'll see. I guess the last thing I'm going to talk about for, I guess, 15 minutes is the guy who made Spongebob died. And I was very sad. Honestly, it's been that's probably, like, the one celebrity thing I was, like, the most upset about. And I didn't even know his name until he died, which is weird to how much I was upset by it. Like, I was like, fuck, this guy was so great. Like, I can't believe he died, like, ALS. So I guess we didn't fucking pour enough ice buckets on each other to solve that. But, like, it really sucked. It was just like, damn it. This guy was awesome. And, like, now that he's gone, everyone's posting stuff on, like, Twitter of, like, their favorite moments and, like, stuff like that. It's like, fuck, SpongeBob's so good. Like, it's never not been, like, great. There's been moments where it's, like, kind of intense. Like, some of the more recent stuff, again, I haven't really watched it. It's crazy that show's been on for almost 20 years. It's like, that's crazy. It's been 19, so for now. But it's about to be 20. As of next year, 2019, yeah, because it was 1999. That's crazy, though. Like, it's never not had a new episode and stuff like that. But there was, like, a span in, like, when I was, like, in college, maybe even more recently, where, like, it kind of got gross. Like, they changed a little bit of the art style to make it a little more, like, there's a little bit more, like, I guess there's gross stuff. Like, at one point, like, someone lost, like, a toenail, and it was really gross. There's, like, grosser moments. And I was like, this is intense. And I can't really, like, this is kind of gross me out and making it, like, uncomfortable. But, like, it was still pretty funny. And, like, it's kind of crazy. That's, like, almost never really stopped being funny for a while. I know some people talk a lot of shit about, like, more recent stuff. And I guess apparently it was, like, on its, like, I didn't even know it was still making episodes, to be completely fair. But apparently it's, like, it was on its way up of, like, really being great again. And then he passed. And, like, everyone's like, oh, no. But I don't know. I kind of think this show has been amazing for a long time. And, like, forever. I don't know. It just kind of sucks. And it was a weird moment to, like, read that he died, because I just happened to open my phone and it was, like, the first report of the death. Like, I was, like, right seeing it right there. It was crazy. It's just like, oh my god, he was like 57 or something. He was wicked young, and like it's just sad. And the thing that's weird though is I didn't know what his name was. I barely even remember what it is now. Stephen something. I don't remember exactly what his last name is, or even how to pronounce his last name, to be completely fair. But like. And I knew of him, like, his thing, like, Stephen Hillenburg. Yeah, because he was, like, what do you call it? he's like a marine biologist. Like I want to say SpongeBob started as like a comic strip and like a marine biology like paper or something, or a magazine or something like that, and like a very weirdly specific thing for it to be what it is. And he was just hilarious, and then just ran into SpongeBob and did that and da da da, and like I don't know, it just sucks. It sucks that he's gone. Like, that's a great guy who I really wish we didn't lose. And just to, like, it's weird, though. I guess because, like, he, like, that show has always been around for, like, the entirety of my life. Almost. Like, not exactly, but, like, it's always been around. It's been a staple forever. You know, always around, always doing stuff. And then to just have it to know that's like, oh, he didn't get to see its 20th birthday, stuff like that. Like, he created this thing that's, like, not many cartoons can last that long, or shows in general. Can last that long. And then, I didn't get to see that. And, like, he did so much for so many people. And now you see all these animators come through who are like, you see them now, today, they do something different. They do a bigger project or something, or their own project maybe. And just talking about how much he meant to them and what he did for them and stuff like that. Like one, I forget who it was. I follow her because I follow a bunch of animators on Twitter. And she had she had worked on SpongeBob. She had left, basically made him a little picture of all the characters and said a big little thank you. And he had it framed in his office for years and stuff like that. It's like real sad shit that he's gone. And it's just like, fuck, man, he was such a good guy. I really I didn't It's weird to think that his death affected me as much as it did, and I didn't know what his name was. Because, when Kevin Smith had his thing, I was like, oh, dear God, what would I do without this man? A man I've never met and probably never will. This is so depressing. How sad. Just his work speaks to me in some weird way. That, I guess is the same thing for SpongeBob. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to lose this guy. This sucks. And I don't know. It's sad. It's a sad thing. Oh, man, I don't know. I hope, it's been nice seeing, all the moments that people really enjoy. And I love keeping, fucking little GIFs of SpongeBob on my phone and stuff. It's just enjoyable. He says a lot. Every character has some of these ridiculous things. Now seeing some of the moments, the one where Patrick's parents are coming, and he's like, they gave me this note, and it's a fucking music note. It's like, and on the back is a letter, and turns over it's a B. He's like, and I got this message. It's some, so many silly little jokes like that. It's just, oh, man. And, there was a thing I saw on Twitter a long time ago. Not a long time ago. A month. Maybe a month. 2 weeks. Maybe 3. It doesn't matter. And it was boy, I really wish I was a writer. I was a fly on the wall in the writer's room for SpongeBob. And it was what are you doing, dog? What you doing? I forget exactly. What was it? It was two pillows wrestling in a wrestling ring, and then one throws the other into a mattress, and then it falls over on the floor, and then the mattress stands up and is sentient and was he starts crying over the dead body of this pillow. It was super fucking weirdly abstract and strange, and it was just who came up with this? Who thought of this? And it's fascinating, what it was doing and where it was going, and the weird things it tried and worked. I've been watching a lot of Aqua Hunger Force right now because it's 11-minute episodes, and you can just put them on while you eat food or fucking my hair dries or something. I can watch an episode. And it's ridiculous and fun. And they do anything in that show. It's just the weirdest shit imaginable. But, SpongeBob does it, but still tries to keep it within a semi-established, rules of the universe it exists in. Aqua Teen will just do anything. There was an episode I just watched where, space clowns turned Carl into a clown. And then nothing came of that. He fast forward to the future, and Carl's still frozen from... Frylock freezes Carl to figure it out. He never does. And then fucking Meatwad also became a clown, then they died. It was the end of it. There's nothing, it didn't solve anything. The episode ends. And there's some episode I was watching Aqua Teen where it felt like they were entering Act 2 or Act 3. They were just about to go into more, and then the episode ends. They're is it done? We're done here? Did I miss something? Because it's only 11 and a half minutes. So they're just fuck it, stop. We did too much. We're done. And it's fun. It's enjoyable to watch this weird thing just happen and unfold in front of you, and they'll do whatever. They do whatever they want. Doesn't matter because there's no you have, and that's the thing I like about cartoons. You have your set of characters, your SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, whatever, or your Frylock and Meatwad, Master Shake, Carl, whatever. You have your cast that you play with, and then you can do whatever you want with them. And that's I've always heard that like that's the sign of a good cartoon character. You can put it in any situation and it works, like The Simpsons or Beavis and Butthead, what have you, whatever it is, as long as you can just put them anywhere, and then they just any situation, anything that's happening, and it makes sense or works. And SpongeBob 100% is that. There are episodes where they're wrestlers. There's episodes where they're fucking just running around the backyard. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. Like, you can just, it all kind of makes sense because of the way they act and the way they interact with things. And then just like, and then like, but like, there's also, you can get weird with it. Like, just not weird, but you can do anything within that. Like the thing, like, one of the clips that someone had sent was the one where the episode starts and you just see SpongeBob sitting in a room, just on the floor. And then it cuts to the mailbox, and the mailman opens the mailbox, and he goes, "Hey, mailman." Like, he's been sitting inside the mailbox. Like, you can do weird things like that. And it makes sense, and it's clearly just for the gag, and then we'll move on to the next thing, or however they want to do that. And, like, or like just weird things like the episode where he gets sick, and then the giant hand just comes and uses him as a sponge on normal human things. You know, like, strange things you can do. And have, like they have that, like, mixed media thing where they would have some scenes in like a live action, which cartoons today do all the time. But that I had never really seen until SpongeBob, as a kid at least. And because like I know like Gumball will do that stuff sometimes. They'll have like real people. Chowder's done that where they had like the thing where they ran out of budget for the animation, so then the real actors showed up and they had to do a car wash to get the money back to have the episode finished. Like silly stuff like that. And Gumball's had weird things like that too. And like there are shows that do that where they'll break that wall and have like apparently, and I wish I could fucking find this. I bet I could if I googled it real quick. But the unaired final episode of Angry Beavers is the voice actors of Dag and Norbert talking to each other as the voice actors within the characters. Fascinating. Where like they're just talking about the episode, the show is ending and it's over, and then they stop being their characters and just talk to each other. It's weird, and I wish they like actually fully animated it, because I think they recorded the whole thing and had the whole thing written, or I guess not entirely written, because I think most of it was improv. And then Cartoon Network was like, "No, you can't do this. If we air this, kids will think it's over and never watch the show again," because they know they have to have that. They would buy 52. I think that's the what is it? Actually, I don't even know how many episodes Angry Beavers has. I can look it up real quick. But that's the general cartoon thing is like you buy 52 episodes so that you can air a different one every week for an entire year, and it doesn't actually, but like a kid would never notice like, oh, I've seen, like they might be like, oh, I've seen this one, but they wouldn't, most likely the child just be like, oh, it's new or whatever, this is a new thing. So they bought 63 for Angry Beavers, and that's strange. Did the season just end abruptly or something? That's so odd. What an odd number to pick. I don't even know why they would do that. There's 4 seasons too, which is weird. Like, I don't know why they only bought like sets of 13 for some reason. I guess season 3 is weirdly long. Interesting. It's on Verve with their Splat channel thing they have. So I have it on there as like something I want to watch, because I did love that show. That had weird fucking moments, like the fucking toe thing. Or was it a toe? Was it a foot? A thumb? What was the monster in that show? I don't remember. It was weird. There was a lot of weird shit going on. But it was a good time. It's a good time. I like cartoons. SpongeBob's a special one. I like that one a lot. It's sad though. He's gone. It's such a weird thing. And I guess it's also because like being on Twitter, I'm seeing it constantly. People being like, "Oh my God, he's gone. I love this guy. I love this show." Blah blah blah. And so just having that all the time in my face and seeing clips of it and being like reminded, like, "Oh my God, this show is so good." And not having watched it in so long. I wonder how many seasons it technically has. Because like when a show gets on for that long, you have like a weird, like release schedule with your seasons. So it's I don't know. We'll see. It's a kind of a weird, like as fucking like Fairly Odd Parents has like a weird release schedule and stuff. It gets a little odd. I'd be curious to see. That has 12 seasons, but I would be curious. I don't want to look into it now because it's a lot of work. But what would be like what's the like how it works between things like that? I know there are people right now trying to petition what you call it. They want to get what's the fucking episode where they do the Super Bowl? Sweet Victory. They want Sweet Victory to play at this year's Super Bowl in honor of him. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I signed the petition immediately upon seeing it. Like, that's amazing. Of course I want that. And like today with like what we can do, like we could literally like you could recreate that whole thing with like a hologram situation. If fucking Miku can do live performances, we can have SpongeBob do a live performance. There's nothing stopping us. It's Super Bowl, baby. We got money. We can do it. So I like to see them actually attempt that. I think it'd be fun. I don't know if they will, but maybe they will. I mean, I don't know. That show has reached bajillions of people. Like it's touched so many lives and affected so many people in so many ways that there's a real possibility that like that's a real thing that could happen. We could watch the Super Bowl this year and SpongeBob's there with the gang doing that song. Like that would be pretty swell. But I don't know. We'll see. That was a weird episode too. That's a super weird episode. Like it's like is that one also did like that mixed reality thing where like they went to the actual surface where there were real people. I mean, they always did that. Like if you went above the water, it was like real. It was like our world, which I guess is the fun of it. But what a show. Well, I've already talked about most things, and just fucking hammered all of you to death with Kingdom Hearts stuff, and that will never end until maybe 3. Well, everyone's excited because 3's coming out. 3's gonna happen. It's been years. We finally got to see it happen. So that'll be nice to just finally get that. Which reminds me, I actually have to purchase it. I have yet to buy it, but I plan on buying it like 3 fucking times because I'm a fucking monster. So eventually we'll get there. Like I want to have it digitally so I can just boot it up immediately on the day, but I want to have it physically. And like, why would I stop at the regular version? There's a deluxe version too. So I got problems. What are you gonna do? I own fucking, I think 6 copies of maybe 5. I forget 5 or 6 copies of Kingdom Hearts 2. Because fucking why not? It doesn't matter. Like I have the collector's edition of 2 and the regular one for PS3. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I think I own the black label version for the PS2, and I'm looking for the red one too. I want the greatest hits. Might as well. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? I don't know. I have the problems, but I'm getting a phone call right now, so I'm gonna stop. All right. Love and kisses.